We're back. We're back. Shut up. Alright, are we back? We're back. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, I hope that doesn't ruin the game. This talk. Alright, I want to go over... holy shit. I want to refresh this. Alright, this is my first podcast. Ah, fuck, it restarted the whole shit. Okay. I don't know why that just happened. My fucking internet, or whatever, OBS, just decided to say, fuck you. Alright, yeah. Alright, so this is gonna be in 2 parts, I guess. Thanks. Fuck you. You. Okay, whatever. For the 2 viewers that are watching this, I'm sorry. If you go on YouTube, I'll post this on YouTube, and I'll combine these 2 videos. I think that was pretty, I was hoping I could do this in one consecutive run, but OBS said fuck you to me. Alright, back to this story. So, first of all, you're on the connotation that you are supposed to kill your father, and that your father basically killed your mother. So, that's a little traumatic. So, you have to understand, Connor's under a lot of pressure in this game. And he has to kill these people, he has to kill his father, and he has to do a lot. And people hate him, because he's so bland and so naive. Because he's a Native American. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He's as confused as anyone in this fucking world. He's actually the full representation of little kids. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And he does what he has to do. So, like, he needs to do this. And with this being said, people say he's too bland. He's too fucking... What? He's already under a lot of pressure. And when he's under this a lot of pressure, what are you supposed to do? Be happy, fucking joy? No, you're not. No, you're fucking not. He's acting as he should. A little tough around the edges, but still talkative. And people hate how he's just a dull character. No! His past is fucking traumatic. Your mother dead. Your father killed your mother. It's just one guy did the job. But honestly, it's sort of the same thing. And so, with that being said, Connor then goes out to be like a little asshole. Yes, he can be an asshole. And then another reason why he has the right to be an asshole. So throughout this, you get the notoriety of George Washington. You meet George Washington, and you are introduced from John Adams. John Adams introduces you to George Washington. I skipped over the fucking boring details. I don't want to talk about the whole game. That is not my purpose. I don't want to do that. You should play the game by yourself. Whoever's watching this later, or whoever's watching this now, you should play this game right now and have these, and whatever I say in the back of your head, take this with a little grain of salt and a little note taken. I'm not here to tell you and explain the whole game, and I won't, because that's too stupid. Just play the fucking game. So, dramatic, the reason why he's a little dull. He's a little dull of a character because he's had a lot of traumatic experience. And I said this on a YouTube comment. If you go search my name on Hollow's video in death, you figure it out. So, then you meet George Washington. Charles Lees is in the room. Your fucking blood is boiling. You want to fucking murder him. Oh my god, is OBS being a bitch again. You want to fucking murder him. So, you then go and help George Washington. You help him at Bunker Hill. You help him at all these iconic places that are just supposed to give you like history boners, I guess. So throughout the game, you then tell George Washington you're supposed to keep it a secret. Achilles tells him, keep it a secret, keep it a secret, keep it a secret. Don't talk about the fucking Assassin's Creeds and Templars. But with Connor being Connor, he does not listen. And yeah, he tells him about the whole story. And also, another thing is, one of the sequences, William Johnson is gonna buy your fucking land. Buy your fucking land. So, that's another reason why you could be a little asshole-y. A man is about to buy your whole fucking land, and it seems like he's just gonna take it no matter what. He has the money, he has the resources, he has the manpower to take your land, even if you say it was never for sale in the first place. It's basically the government saying, fuck you, I know you pay for your fucking land. Well, I guess no one paid taxes for the land, the Native Americans back then. But they were still gonna take their land. So, then Connor's mad about it. But then people take that as, he's mad. Oh, he's such a dull character and an asshole. No fucking shit. If someone was about to take your land and they were going to win no matter what the fuck is your reaction? Oh, man, they're going to take my land. Okay, that's it. I'm done. No, you're going to fucking fight back. Shut the fuck up. You're going to fight back. You're going to fight for what your land is. He then kills William Johnson, and here's the excuse that comes in. Well, this is what William Johnson was telling you. We're not trying to buy your land, we're trying to buy your land, but then protect the land. What? You were one of the 4 people that came to his tribe and fucking burned it. You're gonna burn it again and buy it again? That is bad business. That is retarded business. You're gonna buy a land and then burn it down, and then he's gonna probably make a new land. That's not protecting land. In his eyes, he wants to make a new America. He's trying to do the manifesto of America. But in Connor's eyes, he's burning his land again and then making new land to protect it. That's basically what he says. He's going to make a whole ass new land without the Native Americans. And historically, that's what happens. So that's a little butthole move to do. Like, what the fuck? But this is history. He then goes to kill John Pitcairn. He's just a soldier. That whole scene is just him being a soldier. Blah 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 blah. Whatever. He kills John Pitcairn. Blah blah blah. Then Connor goes again and tells George Washington, "Yo, motherfucking Charles Lee is trying to kill your ass. Shut the fuck up and listen to me." Then George Washington's like, that's basically what he does. It's so difficult. I don't know why people don't understand. Connor's going through so much just for so little. Like, what the fuck? So, he then, John Pitcairn is dead, and William Johnson is dead. And then, next is John Hickey. John Hickey's that little weirdo character that you see in the game. He's a little horny bastard. He's a little horny bastard in your friend group, if you know what I'm talking about. He's just there for the money and just there for the joyride. So that ends. They try to assassinate George Washington. Does George Washington take that seriously? Fuck no. No, he doesn't. Even though Connor's been right for the 2 times. They're trying to kill you. They're trying to kill you. They're trying to kill you. And then George Washington is basically giving him the fucking hand and say, "Don't talk to me, Connor. Don't talk to me." It's so fucking stupid. So then Connor goes to Valley Forge and then tells George Washington, "Alright, Charles Lee is trying to kill you. How many fucking times do I have to tell you? How many fucking times?" George Washington's like, "Okay, maybe I'll look into it. Blah, blah, blah." Then, at this point of the game, you meet your father. So this is where I want to rant. Hathan Kenway gets the jump on you in a church. And he says, "Ha! So, do I get to kill you now, or do we work together?" Because, funny enough, Hathan Kenway's friend, if you remember this guy, called Benjamin Church, betrayed him. And he went against the father of understanding. Blah, blah, blah. Who gives a flying fuck? You go and talk to your father. So this is where the little character comes out. One of the scenes is, now I reference this too. One of the scenes is where you talk about your mother. Your father's picklocking a door, and he has the fucking retarded audacity. I don't know how. He had the balls to say, "So, Connor, how is your mother?" And Connor gives him the blunt answer. He could have just lied to him and just been, "She's okay," blah, blah, blah. No, he said, "She's fucking dead. She's fucking dead." Because you know what? Actually, one of your little men that you presumably told them to look for precursor sites decided to chokehold me and fucking knock me the fuck out and then burn my land. And the writing of this is so funny because Hathan's like, "What the fuck? I was not told of this. Charles Lee was not supposed to do that. He was supposed to look for precursor sites only, and more endeavors. And as a leader, don't forget, the Hathan Kenway is the leader. He's the leader of this whole shit. He is then, oh, okay. I don't know what happened. I'm sorry about that." And then Connor says, "Yeah, there's no room for sorries." Which is very understandable. Very understandable. You don't get to leave your life. Remember, Hathan Kenway left his life to go pursue Templar matters. So, Connor is already having his mother's death, George Washington being a fucking dope, even though the shit's running in his face, the pressure of his land being destroyed and taken, and fucking his father being a fucking retard and saying, "Oh, I was never aware of this burning of your village and your mother's death. I'm sorry, but I'm here now." I don't know what timeline this is, but that is way too long. It's been 10 years, 20. Or 15 to 10 years. 15 to 10 years. 15 to 10 years, yeah. 15 to 10 years. That's the timeline. So 15 years he says, "I'm sorry I wasn't there, and I'm sorry that your mother died. Can you forgive me?" And then Connor says the best words ever. shut the fuck up, basically. And I'm all out of forgiveness. He already knows where he stands. He says, no, no, no. 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 I'm not taking your forgiveness when you left me for 10 years, basically 10 plus years, and my mother killed. He could at least have a parent. A parent. But no, he died. She died. So, if you really think about it, he's lost a lot of things. And he's trying to fight it back. He's trying to fight back. And to get his land. His land. He's trying to fight a downhill battle. That's what I'm saying. This character is fighting a downhill battle, and he's not winning. As much as you're winning in the progression of the game, he's really not winning. He's not going to win the fight. So, with that being done, you hang out with your father a little more. You talk about the Templars and the Assassins. Then, I guess this is why I also think I guess I could side with people with him being contradicted. Remember how I said he was first ready to kill his father and ready to slam his face in? So this is a little father weird moment. Hathan is beginning to get to Connor. We remember Connor being a jagged, tough son of a bitch. But with him hanging out with his father, he wants to hang out with the Templars a little more. The people that he literally just fucking slashed and murdered. So that's a little contradicting to his own character. Connor should be the tough, brooding little Batman. He reminds me of Batman a little bit. He's the tough little brooding little assassin that doesn't take no for an answer. No, he doesn't take no for an answer. He'll never take a no for an answer. So, with that being said, he goes then, hangs out with his father, tries to make commendations with his father. Achilles tells him, shut the fuck up, boy. What the fuck are you saying? 5 years ago, you told me that you were ready to slit his throat and just... and all that. I get why people say he's a little contradicting. He is a little contradicting, but I guess that's the little story dilemma that they were trying to put. They were trying to put the seed of assassins and Templars working together. Hang out with your father. Then also, here's another fucked shit that happens. Throughout the time that you're hanging out with your father's a little merciless son of a bitch. Every prisoner that... I don't know, this should be a meme. Every prisoner that Hathan Kenway sees, he just has the tendency to shoot them. When you played as fucking Hathan Kenway, in the beginning of the game, some of the characters that you kill were able to get killed when you had them before. General Braddock, you could have killed him twice. But no. You waited till the end. I guess it has to be historically accurate, but there's moments where he could have just pulled the trigger and ended there. But no, when an NPC player is playing Hathan Kenway, when he sees a hostage or a prisoner, no, boom, 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 shank, shank. He fucking shoots them and slits their throats and doesn't give two fucks. This is the contradicting that I don't like with Hathan. That's the only contradicting that you ever see in Hathan. So with Hathan being a little stabby and shooty shoot, talk about the Creed and all that. Then you go to George Washington, and Hathan and George Washington meet. Hathan then talks about how these two men are not the greatest. See, this is also another point that I want to point out. Hathan then tells Connor that George Washington, the man that you're fighting with, is not as goody two-shoe as you think. So, George Washington gets a letter probably from a miscommunication that Charles Lee is about to attack the tribe, your tribe, basically. Then Hathan Kenway is talking about responsibility, blah, blah, blah. Uncle Ben's in this conversation. Then he says, and then Hathan brings up the 7 Years' War. Everyone killed natives back then. Shut the fuck up. And then Connor, being Connor, he's done with this shit. He's fucking done with this shit. So George Washington put an attack on Connor's village. So that's some fuck shit. Another thing that happened to his village. Another thing that's about to happen to his village. And he's an asshole. And he's an asshole for a good reason. He then says to both of them, if you try to follow me, I'll kill you both. And then Hathan says, son. And then Connor says these best lines. You think me so soft when you call me son, but you really are just an asshole for coming back in my life 15 years later, too late, about my mother's death and about my land being taken. If you knew this information, then why didn't you tell me, you sack of son of a bitch? So Hathan probably knew about that. Blah, blah, blah. So this is another hardship that he has to take. He then goes to his tribe. His tribe says, I thought you was another man. They don't know what he's been doing. So when he gets back to his tribe, he talks to the high council lady, old lady. He then talks to her and says, okay, what the fuck is happening? Oh, you and your best friend, I don't know, Conadogo. I don't know, it's a little PTSD in my head. Conadogo is about to attack the Americans that are trying to kill us. Connor has to knock out several of the native of his tribe members. He then goes up to his best friend. See, this is where the story gets harsh. And yes, his mother died. That's a little harsh too. But we didn't really play with Zio as much as we played with his friend. I mean, as Hathan. Hathan played with Zio a lot. He fucked her. Whatever. She was just a love interest. Hokopanis. But we did play with his friend as a child, and that's what brings the memory. So I'm going to bring in the memory of his childhood. So with his childhood, his childhood friend, his friend from the death, his friend is about to kill him. His friend says, Charles Lee told me that you should not be trusted and that you sided with the fucking Americans. First of all, Charles Lee is on the American side. He might... Alright, Charles Lee, I don't know his history. His history is that I think he's like a Benedict Arnold type of person. He would betray the Patriots and go to the Loyalists. But Charles Lee was from the fucking Patriots. As history goes, he's a Patriot. But then Conadogo says, I don't care what you say anymore. I'm going to kill you because Charles Lee, the man that I don't even know. That's a little bullshit too. Oh my god. The man that I don't know rolled up on my crib and said, you are the enemy. What? It's like some random person comes up to you and says some false bullshit and says, yo, your best friend's a murderer. Even though you know your best friend more than they do, and you've been hanging out with your best friend more than they do, and you still listen to them. That's the little rant of the Assassin's Creed 3 game. Your best friend listens to a guy that he doesn't know more than to you. It's so funny. But then I guess you left the tribe for a long time. So don't forget, you left your tribe for a long time. Probably 5 years, 6 years more. So you're like 24, 25 then. So you've been gone for a long time. But still, your friend that you knew since childhood, you would never doubt them unless there is a reason to be doubted. But okay. So I guess they had to get a reason for you to kill your best friend. So you kill you kill your friend. You kill your friend. So let me bring back to the pain and traumas that Connor's been through. His land is trying to be taken over several fucking times throughout the game. Your mother burned and killed in front of your fucking eyes. These men that you are fighting with are sort of really not your friends. Sort of fake ass friends. Then there's Charles Lee being a dick, as always. And then your fucking father being an asshole, coming back 15 years too late. See all the problems that Connor's really having? See, I'm going to compare this to Ezio. Yes, I know. Shut the fuck up. Everyone loves Ezio. Everyone will suck Ezio off. I know! He's a good character. I love him too. But here, Ezio, the only traumatic thing that he had going for him with his brother, his father, his little brother. Yes, those are a little traumatic. Those are really fuck shit. But he doesn't care after that point. I'm gonna be blunt with you. After your scene of the hanging, and maybe a little bit past too, you kind of forget your brother and your little brother and your older brother. He had two brothers. Your two brothers died. But then, as soon as you kill the protagonist or the antagonist in AC2, you remember, they're not gonna come back. So Ezio had to deal with the fact that they're not coming back. Bada boom, bada bang. His story. Then in Brotherhood, he just lost his uncle. Not as much. I mean, yes, Uncle Mario was a good character. I get it, he's a good character. He died. And then throughout that game, nothing else happens. He finds a little incest relationship with a Borgia. Ugh, gross as shit. And then, that's it. Revelation, Ezio loses his he loses the a guy that you meet in the first 10 minutes of the 30 minutes in the game. 30 minutes into the game, you meet Yusuf. But that's it. Connor is having maybe 5 times as more traumatic stress than Ezio is. And that's throughout 3 games. Ezio had to deal with this. Connor is doing this in 1 game. He's not taking this as like 1 game he lost his mother, 1 game he's losing his land, 1 game he's lost his friend. He's having this as a whole ass sandwich. He's biting the fucking sandwich. He's biting the sandwich and he's losing it all in 1 bite. And yeah. After that, his best friend dies. Holy shit. Then he gets his shit together. He then goes to George Washington one last time. He says, "You stupid fuck. 3 years and maybe 2 years ago, you were on the brink of death. Some guy named Thomas Hickey was about to fucking kill you. And you still let the man go." And George Washington, oh my God, his writing. "Okay, Connor, I'll look into it, but I don't want to force it." What the fuck do you mean force it? He literally gives you reasons. Charles Lee gives you reasons. So we then end the story arc with George Washington. George Washington goes as a stupid fuck and doesn't think of anything else. So you're on your own. So, story details, play the game. You get to the point where you bombard a fort and you're trying to kill Charles Lee. And when you go and try to kill Charles Lee, you don't find Charles there. You find your father. So, I don't know what Connor's at this point. I don't know if he's on board with killing his father or off board. I don't really know. The way that they ended things was really hard, so I don't know. I don't know how Connor feels, but I know how he feels with his land, his mother, his best friend being murdered, and other traumatic stresses. He then goes and kills his father. Honestly, if he wasn't his father, I wouldn't have cared, and I shouldn't have cared. He's an okay character. You only played him for 4 sequences. And when he died, he died. And then Connor says, "Goodbye, father." I don't know. I don't know what point Connor's at that point. Maybe he's a little numb at that point, I think. And then another fuck shit is that he takes a year to find Charles Lee. Charles Lee, so for a whole year, Charles Lee has not left the country. He stayed in the country. And then on the anniversary of Hayden Kenway's death, they have a memorial for him. And then you find Charles Lee, and then you try to kill him. And then you try to find him, and then you find him on a ferry trying to get out of America. You should have done that fucking a year ago, or like during that year time period. I looked it up, and it kind of looks it has to be the character's death timing. I think that's why they have these time jumps. Because they want to be accurate too. When you're making an accurate game, you have to be on the dot. So sometimes the storyline is a little off-putting. But still. So it takes him a whole year to find Charles Lee. When he finds Charles Lee, he's ready to kill him. And this is the line that people don't like. You go in a burning boat that's being created. You both trip and fall, and you're like stabbed in the gut with a fucking pike, which should have killed Connor. Back then, that looked like the death sentence. And Charles Lee is perfectly fine, even though he's probably like 60 or 50 years old. 50 and 60 years old back then is like a fucking immortal man back then. So, with that being done, Charles Lee talks about the Templars and the Assassins. The Templars have always gained the upper hand, and we've always been winning. But why do you resist? Why do you not let this happen? Why do you keep fighting the fight where you think you're gonna lose? Because he is losing. He loses everything. I'm gonna be straight up. Connor does not gain anything. All he does is get the Templar out of the area. That's all he does, and that's not good. Altair's story is traumatic too, but he then has a conclusion in Revelations. He has a son. He's ready to die. He's ready to take up the mantle of the master assassin, and he dies in a library. Yes, he lost his wife. And blah blah blah. Ezio had a better story. Ezio hits on a younger girl called Sophia. He then has a child with her. He then has probably 2 years, maybe 1 year after Revelations in the Embers storyline, and he dies peacefully on a fucking bench. He dies peacefully on a bench. Altair dies peacefully on a chair. Okay. Connor does not get that luxury. I don't know how he dies. There's a comic story of his rest of his life. He has a child. I know that, but I don't know how. I don't know how he dies. I'm not going to talk about his death. I don't know how he dies. He then goes, and then Connor, so back to Connor. Connor then goes, he then goes and kills Charles Lee. Or shoots him. He shoots him. He shoots him. That's kind of the death blow. That's kind of the second death sentence. But after that line that Charles Lee says, why you keep fighting, blah, 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 why do you resist? He says the greatest lines, and I'll take this to heart. Because no one else will. People take that as a cheesy line that says, oh, I'm the character that says, I will keep fighting no matter what. He is the only character that's fighting in America right now. There is no other assassin except the little homestead assassins, but they're really not assassins. They're actually homesteaders. They actually don't know the assassin motive and shit. So basically, Connor's doing this on his own. And he's losing the fight. And he says, I will fight no matter what. I don't care what happens. And even though he's losing this fight. Mentally and physically. He then shoots Charles. And then, I guess, 6 days later, I guess to be accurate, when he dies, Connor finally gets his moment. Sits down. Charles Lee has a drink. They share it. I guess, yeah, Jones was not invented in the 18th century. So, Charles Lee, it's funny how he dies. Charles Lee then gives him the okay, like, stab me, I'm fucking dying already. I'm waiting. He nods at Connor. Like, all their past trauma and all the past hatred is out the window, and he's like, alright, just end my life. So Connor takes his hidden blade, shoves it into fucking Charles Lee's bullet hole, and then sticks it out, and then Charles Lee makes the funniest death noise. He hits the fucking table and says, ugh! Go watch it. Go look up Charles Lee's death. It's funny as shit. He's dead. So, if you play through the whole homestead missions, your homestead, I'll go over this really briefly. I've been talking for an hour and 10 minutes. Holy shit. Well, without the cut off. So, with Charles Lee dead, he's, if you do the homestead missions, you will then get the sequence where he dies. Yes. He dies. Achilles dies. That's only if you did the homestead missions. If you get the homestead missions, you get a church, you get these couple, you get this French man, you get this hunter girl, and then you get this wood butchers, and these two brothers that do wood, and then you get a doctor. So all those people in your homestead, if you did the homestead missions, blah, blah, blah. When you when you go and do all these homestead missions, Achilles dies in the time period. I think before 1781, he dies. I need to look this up. I don't know the real facts about this. I need to look this up. Because, you basically, the game ends at 1873. Hold on. When does Charles Lee die? I'm going to look up his real death and his game death. So, Charles Lee dies basically October 7th, 1782. And I'm going to look up when did I don't think Achilles is a character. 1781. Okay. So alright. Oh, actually, yeah, he dies around the same age. Alright, so Achilles dies at the same time, sorta where Hathan dies. Hathan dies in 1781. Like I said, there's a whole year time jump from when Connor kills his father and Connor kills Charles Lee. So, Achilles dies at the same time when Hathan dies. So Achilles is technically dead. Is technically dead. So bada boom, bada bang, la la la. So Connor lost his father mentor figure in the time being. If you played the game chronically in timeline, and he loses his real father. That's a lot. That is a lot to hold on. That is a lot to hold on to. Not gonna lie, not gonna joke, that's a lot. I'm gonna keep bringing this up. His mother's dead. His father's dead now. His friend is dead that he knew for a long time. His tribe is gonna get destroyed. His fucking whole land is gonna get taken away. Even after he does everything that he does. The man could do so little. The man could do so little in so much time. So after that, I forgot. So remember how I said there was a precursor site and that Ethan Kenway got to it, but he never could open it. The gateway to open it was an apple of Eden, but they didn't have the apple of Eden back then. So blah blah blah. So there was this necklace that was going around. It was the tribal necklace, and that was the reason why he met with Zio. I know I'm going way back. Sorry, shut the. I fucking hate my timeline. So he goes way back. So this necklace that Charles Lee and Ethan Kenway have had for the whole game is what you've been trying to get in the main storyline. And when you finally get it, Connor gets it. Connor gets it off of Charles Lee when he remember how I said Charles Lee hits his fucking head on the fucking table? Well, the reason why is when Connor stabs him, Charles Lee had a necklace on. That was the thing that you needed. Connor grabs it and fucking yanks it off him, and then Charles Lee hits the table and splat. So that had to be a whole different section. So when he does that, he gets the necklace. He then goes back to his tribe. His tribe has gone. His tribe is gone. His tribe is bought. His land is bought by the government. So then Connor realizes that the tribe left the apple of Eden, actually. Or a glass. So I don't think it was the apple of Eden. I think it was the glass of an apple of Eden, and the only way it could be activated was Connor or whoever hold the DNA or blah blah blah. So then he talks to the spirit again, aka Juno, the bitch. He then is told that he failed. He failed. His land is bought. His people are gone. His whole shit is taken. So then, with his land taken, Juno says, "Ha ha 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 ha! Fuck you! You get it? You don't get it. You were never supposed to win. You were never supposed to get your land and keep your people safe. This is how the world works. Ha 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 ha! All the troubles that you went through. Ha ha ha! Fuck you." That is basically what Juno said. In the light, shorter schemes, she tried to sugarcoat it, but I'm going to not sugarcoat it. I'm going to tell you the translation of her distinctive reasoning. She said, you were never going to win. You were never ever going to get your peoples back. You were never going to you're never going to keep your land. Okay? All that trauma that you just endured, it was all for nothing. You're going to keep it, and you're going to keep the fact that your people are gone. So your best friend's dead, your mother's dead, your father's dead, your mentor and father figure's dead, and all the people that you thought that were your friends, fuck you, they're the one that bought this land. Fuck you, you little fucking piece of shit. Why'd you think this was going to be a happy ending? And now, I'll bring this full circle. There's this line that Achilles says that really, really foreshadows the ending of this. We get it, the ending is fucking horrible if you really think about Connor's ending. He does not live with a great ending. And I'm not going to talk about the comic book. Whatever the comic book has, I'm not going to put it in here. I know it's canon, but I'm going to keep this as 2012. This is what we were left with 2012. So, Connor loses everything. And there's this line that Achilles says that really foreshadow. Connor and Achilles fought a little bit. And this is the line that he says. Connor was talking about how he let the Templars gain so much power in the fucking Americas that Achilles should have just done nothing at that point. Achilles then tells him that if you go on this path, there's a lot of destruction and unjust things that will happen to you and people surrounding you, which kind of did happen. I don't know why. This game really told itself in itself. Then Achilles says, there are no happy endings. That is what the foreshadow was. There was no happy ending for Connor. Connor does not go home with a wife or have a child. No, I'm not talking about the comic. Shut the fuck up. This is 2012. I think the comic was released. I'm gonna look at it. I don't want to talk about the comic because I don't know the comic. Connor's comic. AC3. He did have a child. So, I don't know who he married or who he fucked. $2017, I think. What the fuck? Okay, so the comic came out in 2017. So it took 5 years to release a comic ending for Connor. So here's how his death went. Here's what it says on the Googles. In a Sturgo employee handbook, it implies that Connor died a sad and lonely death after being abandoned by his family. Oh. Okay, no, this is just... So it says, but it is revealed in the Assassin's Creed Reflections comments that there's just lies and propaganda invented by the studio to make it look like Connor is a villain who deserves a tragic death. Okay, tell me how he died then. Shut the fuck up. So, that's sort of what we were going on. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. No. He did not die a sad, lonely death. Okay, thank fucking God. If Connor is a true tragic character. So, alright. I'm not talking about the comics. It took them 6 years to put it into, 5 years to put it into the method. So, I'm going off by 2012. So, I'm talking about 2012 and the end of 2012. So, for 5 years, we were led to believe that he would die a slow death, blah, blah, blah. But in the comments, yes, I'm going to bring in the comments. Shut the fuck up, please. I don't care. I don't know the comments account, but he has a daughter, he has a wife, and that's it. He had a family, and life started to turn around. But how long did that take? Fucking years. Years. This is years after he had to go through his whole traumatic story. So, even with his life turning around, it does not help him. It still does not help him. It does not help him that he gets a family at the end. He lost a whole ass family when he was alive and, like, kicking. Okay, that's all the comments I'm going to talk about. Blah, blah, blah. He lives an okay life. Don't talk about... I'm talking about the game and what the game was supposed to represent. The game was so bad to him. And that's why I'm saying Connor deserves to be more deserves to be treated more kindly. Because he deserves a better outcome. He deserved a better outcome, a better life. But he didn't. This is the game. So, with that being said, Connor, I'm going to say this, is a good character. He's a good character. Even though he's dull and assholey, he gets those rights, I guess. He gets those rights, I know. A person gets rights for being an asshole for the traumatic stress that he gets. He gets those rights. He has no explanation in why he's like this. He doesn't need your excuse. He doesn't need your fucking bullshit. This is why he was created. This is the outcome of reality of why he gets this. So, this is what happens. This is the reality of what happened back then. It's not goody two shoes anymore. It's not the fucking Assassin 2 with the Revelations. You don't get a happy ending. So, that is all. I'll say that with a grain of salt. I hope you enjoyed this first podcast rant. It was a long rant. Oh my god. So, my first video is 10 minutes. Oh my god. 28 minutes. So, I've been talking for an hour and 30 minutes. Straight. Oh my god. That's so long. Alright, I hope you appreciate this little brief story of why Connor is not such a dull and unappreciative character. He's really underrated and unappreciated, but he's not as good as everyone else. I'm just trying to defend him. There are so many YouTube videos and so many people saying that he's such a dull character and that he has no right to be an asshole. He has no right to be such not a cunning man. Sorry, he is a cunning man. How he's like so. I don't know. He's just not like Ezio's charm. And the reason why he's not Ezio's charm, because he's not Ezio. And the thing is, also, people also were getting off the high of Ezio. They had 3 games to have with Ezio. How many years was that? That was like 3 years in a row that they got to connect with Ezio. Connor only gets maybe a game in 1/3. He doesn't even get a full game. So that's already a bad situation for Connor. But you throw everything out of the window, throw everything to the side, and you play Assassin's Creed 3 alone, and you don't think about Ezio, him boning Italian girls left and right, blah, 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 being a whatever. And you focus on just Connor. He is a good character, and he has every right to be this way. And I hope you understand this. What I just said. His mother's death, his father's death, his mentor's death, his best friend's death. This is a lot of death. And Assassin's Creed is about killing. But this is on his side. He loses as much as the Templars lose, too. So, I don't know why people always have to hate on Connor. He's not such a bad character. He's just put into a middle of, fuck shit. And he's Native American. He's gonna get some hate. He's gonna get some shit. He's gonna get some shit in America. And he's also naive to the world. He's naive. So him being stupid sometimes also could be because he's a Native American and he doesn't know everything. It's so hard for people that don't know. It's like a foreign person coming to America. It's exactly that. It's exactly that. If you pull a French person out of France and stick him in America and says French fries are called French fries and not what you think, he's gonna be confused as fuck. Of course you would be too if you go to France and say, where's the French fries? They don't say, oh, we sell French fries. No, we don't sell fucking French fries. No, they don't sell fucking French fries. That's a little rant that I wanted to talk about how his ethnicity also plays into the game too. He's as naive as anyone that would be in the world. He's a 19-year-old. You're as confused right now, if whoever's listening to this. If you're 19, 20, 21, people are as confused right now. Imagine being in the 18th century and you're kicked out of your fucking tribe and said, go live on your own or go find someone and try to get, I don't know. This is the problematic reason why I don't like when people say Connor's such a dull character. No, he's just in a world that he doesn't know, and he's in a world that just hates him, how he has so many deaths and so many people around him dying. As many people as he's killing, too. So, seriously, please, play the game, understand his traumatic losses, and really take into the time that yes, he might be stupid sometimes. He might be dull as shit. But you need to understand his background, which you are given his background, and you're given every scenario of what happened bad to him. You don't shrug that off. You're supposed to take it as it is. You're supposed to interpret that, yes, he lost so many friends, and he might be this way. God, I had to give Connor justice for this. Like, seriously, Connor deserves justice after this game. It's like people giving Unity a second chance. I've always given Connor the shadow of the doubt. He deserves more sunlight. He deserves more praise for this. He's a traumatic character that has just went through a lot. And yes, every assassin has went through a lot. Father dead, wife died, brother's dead. But he's just in the middle of a war, too. Like, Altair was not in the middle of the war. Ezio was not in the middle of the war. The only reason why I'm not talking about the rest of the people is this, because I'm trying to get you to be in 2012. If I'm gonna be bluntly honest, after Unity, it got to fuck shit. But we only knew 3 characters: Ezio and Altair, Al-Hiberland, and Connor. So those are the only 3 characters that we knew that they were assassins. So I'm going to talk about those. I'm not going to talk about Arno. I'm not going to talk about the Fry Twins. I'm not going to talk about Valhalla. I'm not going to talk about Odyssey. I don't know why that has a title of an Assassin's Creed. And I'm not going to talk about fucking Bayek. And I'm not going to talk about Rogue. I'm not going to talk about Edward Kenway. No. This is before them. I'm cutting the line at 2012. So, I really hope whoever's listening to the future, past, whoever's listening right now, I'm glad that you stayed. I don't know why you stayed. I hope you played this game. Whoever stayed, I don't know. I hope you enjoy. Hope you really enjoyed this podcast. This is my first podcast, not my last. I love doing these podcasts. I like talking a lot, and I don't catch out of breath. Oh my God, yes. So, I really hope you understand the traumatic story of Connor and why he's a good character and why he should not be treated like a shithead and how he's a dull character and has no reason, no moral justice for being in this game. He does have reason. He does have sort of like a moral justice. A little iffy on that, but as I don't know. I hope you really understood that he is not the dull character that you always presume to be, okay? Please, give him a chance. Come on, like, he's a good character, and he went through so much. I can't stress this enough. He's a good character, and with him being this good of a character, you have to give him some leniency, like, seriously. This character's been through a lot. Like, God, imagine you being in this. Like, it's hard enough being in the real world right now. But imagine just him being in this. Like, come on, give him a break. He was only 19 years old when he had half of this trauma. I don't know how old he was, but this is pretty young for being exposed to death like this. And yes, death was very common back then, but It shouldn't be. It just shouldn't be. Yeah. I really hope you enjoy this first podcast that I just had. I'll try to make this a little better. I don't know why my internet cut out on the first part, but I guess I have to deal with it. But I really hope you listen to all of this, and whoever's watching this before, whoever's watching this later, please enjoy this podcast. I gotta get another topic to do. I'll probably get another topic to do next week. I need to think of another topic to do. Because I just fucking ranted for an hour and a half. And no one could do that by themselves. No one could do that by themselves. If I talk to... I can't believe I talked to myself for an hour and a half. Holy fucking shit. Am I lonely. Alright. Yeah, I hope you like this podcast. I'm sorry there was no gameplay. I don't want to do gameplay because first it would distract me. Second, it would distract you too. And thirdly, it's not the point of the podcast. The podcast is supposed to be audio listening and just vibing. You can listen to this on the car or whatever you want to do. And this is going to be on YouTube. So, this is going to be on forever. I've figured out a way to put shit on YouTube from Twitch because Twitch like takes down these videos after 3 weeks. So I want to keep this. I don't want to like have this. I don't want to record this for an hour and then my recording just gone because Twitch being Twitch. All right. That's it. I hope you follow my socials. I post this on my reverse account, but this is the week that I'm supposed to post on my real account. So whoever's watching this or listening to this from my real account, hi, this is what I do. I'm really bored. God, I just talked to myself for an hour and 30 minutes, so... Oh my god. Well, yeah, I hope you enjoy this. Really, I'm glad that you listened to whoever listened to this, but please, give Connor a chance and redeem himself. And I hope that I talking about it, really redeemed his qualities and his attributes. He's a good character. He's a great fighter. He's a great fighter. In those 6 months that he fought, I don't know, learning fighting styles in 6 months, that's gotta take some time. I'm not gonna lie. And he did it in 6 months. As he said in the after it, I trained harder, fell harder, and he did everything as he should. And he still winded up with fucking dog shit. I'm sorry, but should have winded up with a better outcome, but okay, this is just the game. His life turns around after this, but that takes 5 years for us to learn that. So for 5 years straight, we learned that he died a sadly lonely death. But that was just a pseudo propaganda. I don't know why there's a propaganda for that. I don't know why. Don't ask me. That's just Abstergo being fucking assholes. Hope you enjoy this podcast, and I hope I can do more, and I hope I can entertain you more, because I really like this. I actually like this. So, yeah. I hope you enjoy, and have a good day.